Speaking of the White Sox and Tigers and
Yeah.
Revolution tomorrow, you know, the series, the series has some implications because the Sox have definitely climbed back into getting that second spot because it's only a game and a half lead as they rattled off four, but the
Behind
four
the
in a row
Astros.
behind the Astros, but
The Astros are
the
playing Tampa, I believe,
yeah,
tonight. And then
they are, and they're winning 3-0 in the fifth.
this is a Thursday night, of course. So this will get released Friday, and then we have no idea what's going to happen from here on out. But
Yeah,
there's a hell of a lot going on in this last weekend, which is a blast. But yeah, there's huge implications for this White Sox Tiger series that I bought tickets to 2 months ago, I think,
yeah,
and just for the hell of it, hoping there's still going to be good weather and it's going to be 80 fucking degrees tomorrow. Um, Figuring, the Tigers wouldn't be factoring into anything, but it would definitely be something interesting for you guys, whether it was clinching the division or, as it turns out, trying to get that second slot, second best record in the American League that would give you home field advantage until the potentially the ALCS. So big things are on the line, but there's even more potentially on the line than we could have bargained for, as we had an interesting makeup game on Monday. That Did you get a chance to actually watch it? Were you at work
no, I
or
was at work, so
you were keeping up on your phone?
yeah, and then I didn't see. Well, no, actually, I did see the. Did I see the? Did I end up getting to see the Abreu? I don't know. I saw the Abreu thing though.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I think the whole world has seen that, but fortunately I work from home, so I was able to watch all of it, and it was definitely an interesting afternoon. Actually, the White Sox were kicking their ass. I wasn't paying super close attention. It was 8-2 in the eighth, and Tigers came back and scored 5 in the bottom of the eighth, making an 8-7 game. Uh, Top of the ninth, uh, Jose Abreu gets hit by an 0-2 pitch from Alex Lang, and things got crazy. Do you want me to describe the events? This is what's awesome. We've not even texted each other about this. Usually we're texting each other about everything. Somehow this week there's too much other shit going on, so we didn't even give each other our opinions. We didn't even talk shit about anything. So I have no idea what your perspective is. I have a feeling I do. You don't know what mine is, and I'm kind of ambivalent. But this obviously things mean a lot more to you guys at this point in the season, as there are potential suspensions on the line. Uh, could be, if things get crazy this weekend, there could be injuries that could affect you in these next few weeks in the playoffs, or hopefully the next few weeks for you guys. So I don't know, what do you want to give your tail events, or do you want me to describe
Well, I
what
mean,
happened?
Abreu got hit for the 21st time, and not all by the Tigers' hands,
Thank
but I
you.
think it was kind of like the
Tigers
Tigers.
didn't know he'd
the
been hit
the
21 times. I can
the
guarantee
Tigers
that.
were the. It's like it was the boiling point, for
Clearly.
Abreu.
Yeah.
Um, so he gets to first. Ball gets away from I don't remember which catcher you had in. I think
It was Haas.
it was Haas. Yeah, Haas, and Jose tries to steal second, and
Tried to take
did
Nico Goodrum's
did
legs
did
with him.
did a perfectly legal slide into second. Did not slide out of the baseline. Slid in hard. The game was one run there. Maybe you get the ball comes out of the glove, and everyone on Detroit start chirping because you're not allowed to slide hard in the second against the Detroit Tigers, I guess. So that's my take on the situation. And the biggest issue for Jose, which I read, was that Lang, your pitcher who hit him, who probably shouldn't be throwing fastballs inside because he didn't have good enough control, um, went ahead and started chirping at him, and that set him off. Like, he didn't say shit to him, like other pitchers have apologized to him as he's walked to first this year. Now, to me, I could whatever. Like, you
Thank
don't have
you.
to. You
I
don't
thought
have
that
to
was the
say
weakest thing of
you
this whole thing, that
you
he didn't get
you
an
don't
apology.
you don't have to fucking say sorry. Sometimes you're gonna get hit. It's just that but I think it's because so many pitchers very strangely have walked up to him and said sorry for hitting him. Now, some of the balls that hit him have been way worse than that.
Mm.
He doesn't wear elbow protection, so he is always in jeopardy of,
And that's where he always gets hit. That Steve
yeah.
Cohen even said that. So yeah, why
So
didn't he wear something on that elbow?
he doesn't like it. Doesn't
Well,
like it. Doesn't affects his swing. So
you'd think he wouldn't like getting hit there either, but
well, he doesn't. So obviously,
clearly, yeah.
yeah. So then the
Well,
usual bullshit happened where everyone comes out and tickles everyone
it was a
and
little
nothing.
bit. I felt like it was a tickle fight, and then it was more than a tickle fight, but nothing. There's no
Yeah, there
punches
was nothing
thrown.
that's
There's
going to
there's a lot
happen.
of hold me back moments. There's
Yeah.
a lot of yelling, a lot of bullpens running around.
What
Uh,
weirdly has come out of it, though. Well, actually, why don't you just give me your take of the situation, then we can
well,
talk about what came out this week.
I find it fascinating. Your chain of events begins with Alex Lang throwing a pitch where you and everyone else I've heard in Chicago has failed to mention that Isaac Paredes was hit the half inning before by your goon Mike Wright Jr., who
He's
just got
not.
off.
He's not a goon.
Well, he just got off a 3-game suspension for hitting the face of baseball, Shohei Ohtani. That also included a suspension of your manager. So it's funny that that doesn't come up in any account in Chicago of the course of events, but neither here nor there. I don't. What my basic tenet or my basic thesis on this whole thing is we're never going to know what Alex Lang's thought process was. If he did that on purpose, if he did not do it on purpose. There's arguments to be made on each side. It's a fact that Isaac Paredes was hit in the inning before. I don't see why the White Sox would do that intentionally. I do have a crazy
You
theory that
do
I'm going to
you?
share later, but
I'll be interested to hear that because
you're going to like
if
this.
you look at who was pitching, he was hit because he sucks.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, it keeps happening. So, I mean, he just got suspended for the same thing, but it was a much more consequential player that he hit before that is why he got a suspension for that. So there's an issue there with Mike Wright Jr. But regardless, if he didn't do it on purpose, which I think is quite likely considering it was an 0-2 count, where the Tigers had just come back to get it within 1 run. He has 2 strikes on Abreu. Why would he intentionally hit him at that moment? Like, what does that make any sense?
I don't think he intentionally hit him. I've
Okay.
never. I don't say. I
Okay, that's
don't.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah. I definitely
No, I
do not
appreciate
think he.
that.
I don't think he intentionally hit him. In fact, I don't. I think in most cases when Abreu's been hit, it's not been intentional.
Okay,
They're trying
that's
to pitch him. They're trying to pitch him inside. The problem is it just
awesome.
built.
I'm really glad we can at least cross that bridge. We can agree
Yeah.
on that. That's
I
cool.
just think
That's a huge step.
it's just something that built up over time.
Absolutely.
It's a season's worth of getting plunked. The White Sox are like the third most hit team in baseball, and they're the team in baseball that's hit the least amount of people.
Well, I guarantee the Tigers don't know that, and I appreciate that, but the Tigers don't know that. Tigers pitchers haven't hit Abreu in 2 years, so there's no direct, this is like a beef that's been
Wait,
building
has
between the
someone
2
brought up
clubs.
that it was an intentional hit? I don't think it was an intentional
I'm just
hit.
saying for Abreu to get that pissed off, he had to think it's intentional. For Miguel Cairo to get kicked out of the game chirping after he got hit, you guys think it was intentional. For Tony La Russa to come out 3 times during that and just wasted about 10 minutes of everyone's time by waddling out there slowly like a deranged old man that got hey ma, grandpa's out in the road again.
Well, you know why he did that though? Because our guy got ejected after 3 of our players had been hit and no warnings had been issued over Ohtani. He was trying to make a fucking point. You can't have it both ways, baseball. You can't.
Well,
You can't
again,
suddenly eject Wright.
the Tigers don't care about any of this shit.
I know, but but he's making a point to MLB. You guys
Well,
just
we're
happen to be
playing
the guys in the game.
well, AJ Hinch got annoyed at how much time that TLR was out there because our starting pitcher is just standing there. Like, can he get some warm up pitches while we're waiting for this old man to say his piece? Like,
Well,
what's
you
going on here?
can if you want to.
Well, that's why he was yelling out there. Let's go, give him my pitcher, and they did eventually give Lang warm up pitches before the next at bat. But It didn't work very well because he threw an almost wild pitch in the dirt that Haas had to go get. That actually ended up being the throw out at second base, in which here's my recounting of events that Abreu slid in with spikes up, well past the bag, about 6 feet past the bag, actually, into Nico
No,
Goodrum.
he did not slide past the
He
bag.
was
He
well
landed
past
on
the
the
bag.
bag.
No,
He was
fuck that.
on the
You're
bag.
way off. No, go look at it.
I
He is
did.
way
I watched
past
it.
the
I watched
bag.
it. I watched it 5
I'll
times.
send you the screenshot after the
There's
game. This,
nothing
this is the
illegal
dumbest
about
thing to
there's
argue
nothing illegal
about.
about the slide. He didn't
He
even get
went
fined for
past the
the
bag. I'm not
slide.
saying illegal. It's he's being a dick, which is he can be a dick if he wants. But you can't expect the Tigers to say, "Oh, hey, thanks for trying to take my knees out." That's cool. The other part of this that you failed to mention was you just started saying the Tigers were chirping at him for whatever reason. Nico Goodrum is the one that was in peril. He just stepped out of the way. Fortunately, he was not injured on the plate. But Nico Goodrum didn't run at him. He didn't put up his hands to fight or start pushing him or anything like that. He put his hands up to his side, say, "What's going on, dude?" Like you could see he had no idea why Abreu was going so fucking crazy on him. And I don't think Abreu necessarily at the moment he was not pissed off at Goodrum for saying anything. If you can, it takes like 3 seconds before he starts really going nuts. He got pissed at Lang
That's
because
what I said.
Lang
I
started
already said
yelling.
that.
Well, kind of. Lang was yelling at Abreu because he was pissed that he went after Goodrum. It's like, if you have a problem with me, come after me. Don't come after my shortstop. So that's where things got out of control. And I understand. So it's miscommunication, irrational anger. I get all that. But to say that the Tigers just started chirping because we hit your guy and you did nothing, out of the realm of normal baseball is ridiculous. So that's where I
Okay.
wanted to
Well,
set things
that's
straight a
fine.
little bit. But
Yeah.
so I've got two theories, and this comes back to whether it was intentional or not. And if it wasn't intentional, I think Abreu overreacted. I understand why, he's been hit by multiple teams, but the Tigers aren't part of that. That was the first time he's been hit by the Tigers in 2 years. So that's a little off base for him to take his frustrations out on the Tigers specifically. I understand there's frustrations, but why, whatever. It's also crazy to get that riled up and start a fight pretty much when you guys are going to the playoffs. We'll get into the Tim Anderson situation, but you're risking injury and suspensions. So on that's the side if it was intentional. If it was not intent, I'm sorry, if that was not intentional. If it was intentional, it's because Mike Wright Jr. was sent out there by Tony La Russa. Here's my crazy theory, my crazy conspiracy theory. The wily mastermind that is Tony La Russa sensed that your team needed a spark going into this postseason, as you've been kind of flat for the last couple of weeks, sent your goon Mike Wright out there to hit Isaac Paredes, hoping that he would set off a melee in which that would get your team leader fired up and send everyone into a frenzy, which happened exactly that way. So if that was indeed the case, it was a master stroke of managing by TLR, because you guys have skyrocketed from that moment on. I don't even know if you've given up 3 runs since then. You guys are in having some good times this week. So the suspension or potential suspension, have you heard anything about that with Tim Anderson tonight?
The suspensions, anything a suspension that would come out of this game doesn't even affect the playoffs because you can't be suspended in the playoffs for a regular season game.
So he's appealing that, and that it would be a 3-game suspension. So that appeal would have to be heard today or tonight.
No, it doesn't have to be heard today because it just gets applied to next season.
Is that what it'd be? Okay.
Yeah, it cannot be served during the playoffs.
No, I get that.
It applies to the regular season.
But there's 3 games. I'm just saying there's 3 games left.
Oh, yeah. But
are we going to know? I'm just getting to the point. Are we going to know tomorrow if Anderson's going to be playing?
I don't believe so.
What's the holdup? Why can't they do this appeal? Like, what are they?
I think there's a normal appeals process. And I think because it's the Players Association and and other people are involved, like lawyers, like a lawyer law type of
Well,
thing, they are able to stall the process.
let's get on a Zoom call here. We can figure this out. Whatever. I mean, I just thought it would affect our series. I was just curious if you knew if he was gonna be playing or not, but we won't know, I guess. So, um, but he got suspended for, or potentially suspended for, contact with an umpire. And I, did you see what he actually did?
It
Because I
looks
could not.
very incidental, like he was almost sort of pushed into Tim Timmons
Well,
and
there's
like
40 fucking
touched him.
crazy people on the
Yeah,
field, so, and the umpires are in the middle of it. So how did they single out Tim Anderson out of all of that to say he had the only egregious actions during that whole melee?
yeah.
You'd think if anything, they could give it to Abreu for setting everything off, even though he was held back, from coming into contact with any umpire by multiple teammates. Gavin
By
Sheets was the main one, but
well, actually, an umpire held him back. Tim Timmons held him back at the very beginning.
okay. Well, is that
He's
contact with an umpire?
I believe if the contact's initiated by the umpire, then it doesn't count.
Like, it can't. And obviously he didn't get any kind of suspension. So I'm
Yeah.
confused how Tim Anderson got singled
Yeah,
out of
I'm
all of this.
confused too.
So
It's very hard to tell on the video replays I've seen. Like, it's like, well, did they go to instant replay and have
well,
did
they
they link
always say
did they
they have
sync the
camera
time?
angles that we
Yes.
don't have. So they
Yes,
must have some
yes.
secret
They
crazy fight cam that we
I
don't
think
know about.
I think sometimes they have camera angles that are worse than what we have on TV. So like, yeah, it I don't understand it. We'll get clarification at some point, but I really don't think, like, the normal appeals process, those things don't get heard until weeks later.
Nah, I think they can expedite those if they need to.
I don't.
It just seems like there's no reason to wait. They could take care. Well, the Sox had an off day today, so it seems like they could handle those kind of things. Maybe we'll hear something tomorrow morning, but or maybe there's news tonight. But the other interesting factor in this is Dallas Keuchel's comments after the game that he might be able to take care of things as soon as Friday, even though he's not starting Friday. Is he starting on Saturday?
No,
He is not.
no. Here's the deal. He thought they were gonna. I think he made an assumption that slapdick motherfucker was just gonna rest until the playoffs, and he's not.
He's not.
They're keeping
That's the
everyone
best
in
part.
regular. Yeah, so we
I'm in the
get
ballpark for Lance Lynn. I'll
yes.
be yelling slapdick motherfuckers at him the
Yes,
whole game.
we and now I was expecting to dread most of this game because Dallas Keuchel was on the mound and
Uh,
you laughing with a maniacal laugh. But now, or maybe we're just really drunk by that point. But
I can guarantee we're gonna be having more fun than maniacal
yes,
laughter. But
yes, but I saw Lynn is now the pitcher because it was TBD forever. Lynn is now the pitcher for
I
tomorrow.
just saw
So
that. Yeah,
essentially uh TLR has diffused that situation very quickly by because with the days off, the first game not being till October 7th, there'd be no reason not to pitch him.
oh, sure.
So
There's
yeah,
plenty of
so
reasons not to pitch Dallas Keuchel.
yeah, I
So
know. And let's be honest, like, dude, just shut the fuck up.
why did he say that? I mean,
Why
that's
even
so
say
dumb.
that? And
What a
you know what I
tough
believe is
guy
gonna
behind a microphone,
you know what I
like some
believe is gonna
podcaster.
happen in this 3 game series? Absolutely nothing.
Yes, there won't be anything. It'd be
There won't be anything. The
the
Sox are
Tigers aren't pissed. They're
the
not.
Tigers aren't pissed, and Abreu probably realizes he overreacted just because he'd been hit 21
I
times,
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, there's I can
which we
guarantee.
generally agree on this situation.
Right.
So it was like when he did this when he slid in and like everyone got riled up and no one really knew like why he got so crazy, and then it
And you could
was that the
that's Nico Goodrum's reaction. If you look back at it,
yeah, yeah,
he's like,
Nico Goodrum
what the
just
fuck's
goes
going on here?
like
Well,
whoa, dude.
it's weird because even Benetti used in the moment. I saw the Sox replay of it, and he said Nico Goodrum has started chirping at Abreu, and I thought that was very unfair because I don't think that's what was happening at all.
No, I don't
It
think.
was Lang that was chirping, but
Yes, and Abreu later said it was Lang that got him all riled up
right.
because he didn't say sorry.
I appreciate that you think that's ridiculous too, but
Well, the reason I think it's ridiculous is because most of the time, and maybe the pitchers do, and you don't catch it on camera. Maybe sometimes they do, like as someone's walking out. Maybe a pitcher does turn and say, "Sorry, dude," or whatever.
oh, he
Like,
wasn't. Lang was not sorry by his post game comments. He's like, I threw first two pitches outside, and I got him leaning over the plate. So the scouting reports pitch him in, and then he pitched him in, and it was just got him in the elbow. And I think if he had hit him in the shoulder, up, or towards the head, I think he would have apologized. But hitting him in the elbow, it's like, well, you've got your elbow out there, and I'm pitching inside, so that's baseball. I think that was
yeah,
his attitude. So he wasn't going to apologize, but then he's being a tough guy, and but he was pit. I think he may. I mean, it's all tough guy macho bullshit, but it's saying come after me instead of my shortstop. I think that's teammates coming to each other's.
yeah, that's what you do. That's why the Sox got out on the field, and that's why everyone runs out on the field like a bunch of sissy pants. And
Well, and that's why
dude doesn't.
there were no punches thrown. The only one that was going crazy was Abreu, and they held him back. And I understand why, but they held him back, and he didn't escalate things into a dangerous situation, and nothing else happened apparently except for whatever the fuck Tim Anderson did. So or
Yeah,
didn't do.
or didn't do. So, I
So
gotta.
yeah, that leads to at least another layer of interest for our series this weekend and our game tomorrow night. So
Yeah, I mean,
thanks
I,
guys,
yeah,
appreciate it.
thanks for. I mean, I don't. The fun thing about the game is the only time the crowd's gonna get riled up is if Lane comes in relief, and they'll probably just boo the crap out of him, which will be funny.
That's fine.
But yeah,
He's
yeah,
a former
that's
Cub too, so
yeah.
that
Well,
that
there you
could
go. Maybe
that adds to it.
maybe it was on purpose then. Never mind.
Clearly.
Clearly.